Hi, it's Sue Greenwald here with Awakened Stories. I'm here today with Deanna Carr with the Mystical Moonlight. Hey, Deanna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Today we're going to do part two of our Shakespeare video. And everyone loved all the stuff that we presented the last time. So I want to reconfirm it and ask a few more questions, okay? So we talked about Shakespeare, basically did write, there's a lot of controversy about this. He did write the plays and everything, he was credited for, he did write.
You did.
Yes, and he did build the Globe Theater. He did catch the eye of royalty. He did gain wealth because of his position. Gained,
Yes.
we'll say, by mostly honest work.
Hmm.
Okay. And then as time went on, he realized that there was some shady stuff going on. Like, I don't know if it was spying, but there was stuff, backroom deals going on. And he kind of got in on a little of that as time went on.
Yeah, it was pretty much like keep a blind eye. We're going to use your place.
Yeah. Yeah. So he did.
And it's kind of one of those situations like, what are you going to do? Like when somebody says we're going to use your place and you know they're not a great person, most of the time you're going to agree with it, especially in this time. It's not like, well, I mean, even now going to the police isn't always going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So instead, they were going to compensate him, but he had to turn a blind eye, which most of the stuff he didn't know what was actually going on. So it wasn't like he was actively participating.
Right.
And he saw it as okay, as long as it's clean. But like I said, he didn't know the full details.
Yeah. And so what was going on the back room wise? Was it smuggling? Was it trafficking? Like what was the
It
issue?
was a mixture. So
Okay.
they did have like smuggling of goods. I mean, because you have to think if this is a theater, they're going to bring in set designs. They're going to have a lot of people come in and out. So it's an easy way to bring stuff in, and then you have the high class already going there.
Right.
So getting
Yeah.
the product to them is an easy way.
Yeah.
Um, they did have trafficking also, same thing. You already have a bunch of people coming in. You already have the high class there. And it's already a location, whereas instead of having to build a separate location that's going to draw attention, it's
Right.
already built. They already know a lot of people are going in and out.
Yeah. So not cool. Not
Yeah.
cool. Okay. All right. Now, here's one that we did not mention the last time. Um, was Shakespeare black?
Yes, he was.
Again,
A lot of the history, they alter everything. And for him, there really are no good pictures of him. Usually they're all line design. And that usually signifies one thing. They don't want you to know the ethnicity because they don't want it to go against what they're telling you, or they want you to make the implement they want to imply whatever race you're thinking. So
yes.
by leaving that out of the book, you are going to imply what
Yeah.
race you think he is.
Yeah. So everyone has seen this. He's got a ruffled collar or a big collar on, partially bald, like shoulder length hair, kind of a
Hmm.
heavy lidded eye look, right? That is
Hmm.
like the standard picture for Shakespeare. Everyone has seen, right?
Hmm.
We're presented that. And like you said last time, we don't know what he really looks like or his race. So
Yeah.
that's why probably I forgot to ask about it. I need to start asking about that in every video because that's an
Mhm.
important thing. So they changed that piece of history. Okay. So Shakespeare starts off, we'll call it good. He marries someone named Anne Hathaway. Okay. So was Anne Hathaway at that time a man or a woman?
She was a woman.
Woman. Okay. And she got into satanic stuff and became a vampire.
Correct.
Okay. And she got him into satanic stuff and becoming a vampire.
Yes. Love will do crazy things.
Okay. So the reason, like, it is fascinating to me because she was recently in the news, and I'm going to append her picture to this video. So there was some hubbub the other day about her because they said that she got a facelift. So I think she might be technically in her early 40s, but she's looking extremely young. And again, there were rumors about her having bones in one of her former homes and blah, 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 blah. So pretty sure she was a vampire before we talked about it.
Yeah.
So she, the actress, is still the same Anne Hathaway from way back when.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is not the first time this, let's say, conspiracy has come out. It has been something that has been public. And they actually she even talks about it on one of her shows, or one of the things that she goes on and talks about herself. They are both from that time frame. Um, and it's easier there, and you're gonna see this with all these celebrities. And there's a few that are like super like old, and all of a sudden they look like they are in their 16. Like they look super young
Yeah,
because of
yeah,
this facelift, right?
yeah,
But at some point, they get tired of putting on this persona that they are gaining age. Like, just imagine having to put this fake face on, imagine having to alter yourself. So, by them putting out the story that she's done this facelift, it's easier for them to go with that story than to say, well, I'm not human, people,
yeah,
so this is
yeah,
what's happening.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so she's been alive for 400 years.
Hmm.
Okay. And it's the same person and doing things we don't, unsavory things, we'll say.
Yeah.
Okay. And now she got him into it, and he's now also out there alive,
Hmm.
and we're not looking for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So is,
they're married.
okay. So her, I looked this up on purpose for this video. Her current husband looks a little bit like Ryan Gosling and but that has the same heavy looking eyes, but he is
Yeah.
white according to the pictures.
Hmm.
All right. Now, if he was black then, how could he turn white?
It's easy. They've done it with other people too. They change their skin tone.
Okay.
But you can, I mean, think about Michael Jackson.
Okay.
That's that's a there is a thing. Even Beyonce just went through it. She just got her skin lightened. It's something, I mean, it's stupid, but you can change your skin tone. So yes, he did change his skin tone.
Okay, so that's what their Beyonce, for example, is telling the press. So they don't, she's not coming out and saying what she's actually really doing, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are ways to change the skin tone in a few facets. Usually it's not something that you want to do,
Yeah.
because it is something that changes your whole genetic system.
Okay. Okay. So her current husband, his name is Adam Schulman, and he is a white guy, but they've been married maybe 15 years. And I don't usually follow this crap, guys, but I looked it up because for some reason, I'm very curious about Shakespeare. Okay, so I looked it up, and that is the real Shakespeare.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
You got to think too, like 15 years. Part part of being super old is you have a lot of lifetime, right? They don't necessarily die. So they might spend 100 years apart if they chose to, but it feels like just a few days because it's inevitable. There's always going to be more time. Um, so they were together before those 15 years. They just make it more publicly announced when they're actually official for the books.
Right.
They can't say, oh, they've been together forever because that looks really suspect
Of
because you're
course.
like, well, if you're only this age, why are you with somebody already?
Okay.
Um, so it is something that they have to change. And you also have to think some of these celebrities that we see that go along with these like vampire rules and everything, um, you never see them before a certain age.
I was just going to go into that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, let's go back to Anne Hathaway. We're a little off topic, but it's interesting. I think her first movie was The Princess Diaries. Like that's the
Yeah.
first time we saw her. And there was one called Ella Enchanted, but I think that was after that. But she was
Yeah.
theoretically a teenager in that movie.
Mhm.
They made her look like a teenager, but
Yeah, I
again,
think she was young adult.
yeah. So that they didn't show her like she didn't have movies as a child, right?
Hmm.
Because she was an adult.
Yeah.
Same with probably what's that one Jennifer Mockingbird or whatever. Okay, I'm blanking on her
I have
name.
no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Uh, okay, it'll come to me next video. But she's been in like every movie, like they're throwing her down our throat. And like if you look up her childhood,
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence, whatever.
thank you. Yeah.
Good.
They've
Good.
got pictures of her like modeling and stuff, but no one ever saw her before a couple movies came out. So
Yeah.
just
And now with
interesting.
AI, it's easy they can easily,
Yeah. Yeah.
make it look like she was a kid and everything. But yeah, there's a lot that, they just kind of pop out of nowhere and you're just like,
Yeah.
where'd you come from?
Yeah, I have noticed certain actors or actresses they're like all of a sudden they're like everywhere and you're thinking where were they like a couple years ago? They didn't have it, usually like if it's organic they might have a bad movie here and there or whatever.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
they're all in the A-list movies, So that
Hmm.
usually is a good indication. So,
Yeah.
okay. Anything else about Shakespeare being alive here on Earth as we speak, his wife Anne Hathaway, or what was happening way back when?
Well, she got into this she was just into it. And then she wanted him to join her because their love was never ending, right? So she pitched it to him, you have to do this with me so we can be together forever. And a lot of people love that idea, like never ending, right? Um, and so that's when that the switch happens. Now, part of becoming a vampire, depending on what type of vampire you become, hers is more, we gotta get people. But there are vampires that don't eat people. They do, Twilight people, you would know, they do eat, animals more. That is a thing. They can sustain themselves. They can use alternative ways to keep themselves sustained. But there is a choice, and their choice was to utilize human blood.
Okay, so not good, which is
Yeah,
super disappointing, I just gotta say. Super disappointing.
yeah,
So, all right. And there's a lot of them out there.
yeah.
And
There's more than you imagine, and you have to think too, how many of you, now we don't have endless amounts of money for the most part of us, right? But how many, even if you didn't have your job, does going out and partying all night sounds like fun? Like when you're in your 20s, it kind of sounds like fun, but once you start kind of growing up, it's like, ugh, you want me out past 9 o'clock, right?
Mm,
But these celebrities, pretty much their lifestyle is go, go, go. It's usually at nighttime, it's usually after hours, and they look like they have endless energy. And that is also a clear-cut sign there's something else going on
yeah.
because most of us, like I said, we're not going to be doing it every night. And even when we do go out after 9 o'clock, we are just thinking about going back to bed.
Yep.
Um, so it is something that it draws your attention to, like, wow, I can't even imagine that kind of lifestyle because it's not human. That's why you can't imagine it.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was like 20, that was the ultimate to go out till I'd stay out till like 2 and we'd go out to breakfast and all that. That was a big, big night. But yeah, you grow up and that is actually unsavory. Like to do
Yeah,
that now, it doesn't even sound good to me, you
I
know.
know. Me and Alan were just like, you know, I don't know what we were thinking. Like, I mean, in the time it was fun, but that
Yeah.
lasted maybe for like a year or two.
Yeah.
And then like we're done.
Yeah.
And now when we think about like going to a bar or something, we're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
people,
No.
who wants that?
I don't even want to go in. I want to go to a restaurant and have conversation and not like
Hmm.
scream and breathe in smoke or whatever, it just sounds, ugh.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you so much. We're so much off topic, but it is an
Yep.
interesting topic. And like I said, I've been I researched this a little bit because I wanted to know like what I had seen a video a while ago about Shakespeare and her, and I'm like, there is something there. So thank you
Yeah.
for illuminating that. So thank you
Of
so
course.
much for everything. This has been very interesting.
Of course.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.